G'day and welcome back to the garage. In the last episode of the RM250 build, the entire braking system was rebuilt, installed and tested. In this episode, the intake and exhaust systems will be sorted out and installed. Let's get started. If you've been following this series, you may remember a few episodes back where I ran into a roadblock with the carburetor. Now I'm not sure how I missed this, but I don't have a spring or a needle for this carb. However, I do have a spare assembly from a YZ250, but the needle is something strange and I could never get that bike running right with this carb. Parts are hard to get for these carbs, so I'm going to come up with another solution in a future episode. And here we are, in that future episode. The three carburetors I have to choose from are the original carb from the bike, the Mikuni TM38, a Chinese copy of the Kian PWK38, and a genuine Japanese Kian PWK38, and this one's the short body version. Now I've already decided that I'm not going to use the original Mikuni, so to decide which version of the Kian PWK I'm going to use, I need to take some measurements. And here are the results. I'm looking for the carb that has the closest inlet, outlet and body length dimensions to the original Mikuni. And starting with the inlet diameter, both Kians are the same, and they're close enough to the original. The outlet diameter of all carbs are exactly the same, but it's the overall body length that is the deciding factor. The Chinese copy PWK is too long. I'd have a hard time making that fit. The genuine short body PWK is much closer. In fact, it's slightly shorter than the original carb, but that should be okay. With the decision made to use the genuine short body Kian, I need to establish a baseline for the jetting. To do this, some research found that the 93 to 95 RM250 used a Kian carb on a very similar engine. So, their factory jetting is probably a good place to start. The main jet that came installed on this carb is a 168. It's quite a bit smaller than the 93 RM's 180 main jet, so I'll replace it. And the pilot jet is a 42, close enough to the 45 found in the 1993 bike. With the new carburetor in place, it seems to fit quite well, with clearance all round. The only issue seems to be this locating tab. It's a little wide. So some work with a small file brings it down to size, and with that, the carb fits perfectly in the manifold. The next issue to contend with is the throttle cable. But luckily, the stock Suzuki throttle and cable was a direct fit for the new Kian. Believe it or not, this is the original airbox boot from the bike. Just like alloy parts, plastic and rubber can be hydroblasted too, and that's exactly what's been done to all of the airbox parts on this bike. I remember a few episodes back being pretty excited finding new old stock radiators for the bike. Well, I think this is even better. It's a brand new exhaust, still in the original Suzuki packaging. Parts like this don't come up often, so on a restoration like this, when they do, they are hard to resist, even if they do send you broke. No matter how hard I tried, I just could not find a new OEM muffler for this build. So this is an aftermarket item, but it's very close in size and appearance to the original. The original muffler on the bike has been shortened, and it's been done poorly. I did think about trying to extend it, or making a new body for it, but I just don't think I could get a result I'd be happy with. So, with the sticker removed, once installed on the bike, this aftermarket muffler will look just fine. So with a new carburetor, exhaust and muffler installed, along with a refurbished airbox, we're one step closer to the end of this project. Keep an eye out for the next episode where the fuel tank, plastics and decals will be installed. Thanks for watching, see you next time.